Have you found that, like, especially now doing comedy and needing to find a way to swim up and out of everybody else doing it, that you're having to look at the things that are really defining you as being a separate type of comedian and that thing that makes you a little bit weird, a little bit different?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the greatest resistances I have is the time I'm doing comedy in. So I've picked the time to become an entertainer perfectly. Like, I'm a white guy. I had 4,000 years to do it, and I picked the end. You know what I mean? Like, I timed that wrong horribly.
Yeah,
I'd have crushed in the 1400s. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be in a French court.
Yeah.
Like, I'd have probably an entourage because, like, when he's had a bad day, I'm like, oh, sire, could be worse, you know, and then do a pantomime of a leper. Like, they would have killed.
It would have.
I could have pulled that
It's
off.
killing in my head. I'm seeing it.
So I need to look at my unique selling points because my OG ones are gone.
Yeah.
Right. So I am not privy to as much opportunity as other people in my industry, you know, and I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing moving forward.
Again, they're parameters.
I mean, those people picked it great.
Yeah.
They could have tried being a court jester as a, you know, Ethiopian lesbian in the 1400s. They wouldn't have even got close. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now the time is coming forward for them, and that's amazing for the world. But now I need to go, well, all right, well, what separates me from the other, you know, countless people that came 4,000 years up until before me? So I need to look at that, yeah. And it's hard because you don't want to identify too hard. You got to make sure it's you. Otherwise, you're stuck in something that's going to take you a long time to get out of. You know, I'm having this problem at the moment. I went on this is just an example, but I went on a regional tour and an outback tour in 2019. And for some reason, I've always loved eating bakery delights. But I decided to eat a vanilla slice, put it up on my Instagram story and say it had a crispy pastry and a nice filling. I give it an 8 out of 10. Fuck me. Like, I've been doing comedy for 5-6 years and people care just enough, but I put up a vanilla slice and I had maybe 250 messages, DMs on Instagram.
Mental.
I was like, what's going on here? The red thing started going +9, you know, it's going like 9+. I'm like, whoa, I got a lot here. It can't even tell me
Oh my God. That's
how many
amazing.
messages I've got. It's just like, I don't know.
Just heaps.
And people have been like, oh, you got to try the one out of bloody Birchip. And people are just giving me vanilla slice kind of tips.
Yeah.
And then I started doing it more because I'm like, oh, well, I'm onto something here. And then, so everywhere I went, I was doing this series of, I'm in this town, I've just done this gig, I've stopped off on the way to this gig. You know, I was eating 3 vanilla slices a day. It's unsustainable, you know?
Yeah.
And people were like, I got 4 messages today because they just released the new ratings for vanilla slices.
Really? Oh,
People
my
are sending
God.
it to me, just FYI.
That is hilarious.
My brother's like, just letting you know, the awards are out. So I'm like this vanilla slice guy.
Wow.
Accidentally. But then in my head, I'm like thinking, well, I need to do more of this content
Yeah.
because it's resonating with people.
Yeah.
But then as you know, I've just got to a point where I'm pretty much guaranteed that I'm 99% sure I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like nearly shitting myself to give the people what they want. And I'm like, oh, I lent too hard on something. It's not giving me any joy anymore. I'm like, fuck, I better eat a vanilla slice of these fools. So I need to. I was caught in a content trap.
This is a really, really big one because it's being caught in the content trap nowadays with ever evolving medias is something you have to be super aware of. And you know, like I'm obviously not the best example because it's like I'm still trying to pick up a habit of using social media, but it's like doing it in a way that you don't get lost within the kind of rip and like the tide of it, but doing it in a way that's sustainable